Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. It's better late than never, but I'm finally getting my yearly spread set up. So grab a cozy drink, get comfortable, and let's start setting up 2026 together. Of course, with the start of a new journal and a new year, we need to start off with a bang. So for my 2026 cover page, I wanted something that felt alive, like something that could grow with me throughout the year. Instead of putting 2026 in a box or frame, I let it exist among the flowers. The year isn't separate from the growth, it's surrounded by it. I was inspired by this art style that I found on Pinterest, and I'll tag and credit the artist in the description. Each flower feels symbolic to me. Some are fully open, some are still unfolding, and some feel like they're just beginning. That's exactly how I imagine this year. Not all progress looks the same, and not every season blooms at once. 2026 is a really meaningful year for me because I'm turning 26, and with that comes this quiet realization that I'm officially stepping into my late 20s. It feels like a transition point, not dramatic or scary, just honest. This year, I'm not trying to reinvent myself. I'm just trying to soften, to become more present, and to create space for others in a way that feels sustainable and real. So, as I move into my late 20s, my goals begin to shift. In previous years, I focused a lot on productivity, improvement, and becoming better in very visible ways. And while those things still matter, my main goal for 2026 is much quieter. I want to try to become a more selfless person. I want to give more of myself, my time, my patience, my presence to people who genuinely need it. Not in a way that burns me out, but in a way that feels rooted in compassion rather than obligation. This year, I want to listen more than I speak, show up when it may be inconvenient, and offer help without expecting recognition. I think there's something really grounding about realizing that life isn't just about optimizing yourself, it's about how you care for others while still caring for yourself. And turning 26 feels like a reminder that the habits I build now are the ones I'll carry forward into my late 20s and beyond. So, with my self reflection now out of the way, back to what I was doing, which is currently adding some fine lining details amongst the flowers, which is letting me enter a flow state currently. A trick to this is that you don't let the lining reach from end to end, if that makes sense. I mean, you let the lines go about halfway and then you work in more and more from there. That way, it gives the flower petals more shape and more movement. So I just basically continue this pattern with the rest of the flowers. This is typically my favorite type of outlining to do because it's an easy way to show a bit of line depth variety while adding in some easy details. I wanted to keep the color palette fairly soft. For the flowers, I'm using pastel pinks for creativity and care, warm yellows for optimism and energy, and soft creams to wrap everything together. Or, I just felt like these colors just look good together. If you haven't noticed yet, I brought back my Tombow brush pens. This year, I want to be less afraid of mixing up mediums and to stop underestimating my Tombow brushes. I always felt that when I fell in love with using my Ohuhu markers, I kind of distanced myself from Tombow because I didn't think it could compare. But now I see that they're both great in their own uses. For example, I specifically chose Tombow for this layout because it helps give the flowers that delicate and lightness that Ohuhu's heavy inking would have had a harder time portraying. I also really leaned into layering here, starting with light base colors and slowly building depth with the shadows and fine line details. I wanted it to feel painterly, but still calm. This page isn't really meant to be perfect or overly busy. It's more of a quiet intention for the year, a reminder that growth doesn't have to be loud to be meaningful. And I'm really trying to take that to heart this year because I think one of the reasons why I fail with yearly goals so early on is because I expect results right away. I'm a pretty impatient person, so I really want to change that and become okay with small victories. Because eventually, the more of those you got, all of a sudden, you're at your end goal. For the background, I'm keeping it a simple green. However, I later felt that the green background would blend too much with the green leaves from the flowers. So later you'll see that I'm going to be adding a grid detailing to the background to add some kind of texture in there and help differentiate it from the leaves better. Sometimes you don't know what you need to do until you actually start doing it. And that's the kind of mentality that I want to get into 2026, to just do first and think later, which is something my type A brain needs to start readjusting to, sadly. With my first cover page done for the year, it is now time to move on to my yearly outlook. I always go straight to the Dutch door layout because it's so aesthetically pleasing and also pretty practical to flip through the months. So first I'm going to go ahead and cut off all the excess while leaving a tab space open. And of course I gotta bring out my trusty old cutting mat and X-Acto knife. These two had been my bread and butter throughout 2025 and will definitely be used thoroughly this year. It makes doing these layouts so much easier and more efficient. Now, I feel that I must reinstate this just in case, but please, please, please do not look at me as a good role model on how to use an X-Acto knife. Again, I repeat, I am not taking any precautions on this. I just did enough of these to kind of just YOLO it, if people even still say that today. Again, I'm using a Dutch door format which lets me divide my year into three sections: the beginning of the year, the middle, and the final stretch. So, pretty self explanatory. Each section will hold 4 months, so when I flip through them, I can see how the year unfolds without feeling overwhelmed by all 12 months at once. And right now, I'm just doing a basic outlining around the space where the outlook will be, just so that when we start on the background, it'll help us know where to start and stop. For the tabs, I'm going to be using these three washi tapes. I feel that they capture the soft floral vibes I'm trying to do for the year. All I'm doing is just taping and covering the tabs up with the tape so that it'll be easier to flip through the pages. I love this layout because it breaks the year into more manageable chapters, so I can feel a little less overwhelmed with the year. It also gives me a quick snapshot of what's coming up. With the amount of space each month gets, I can jot down important events and dates to remember and have an idea of the next coming months. I framed each month very simply, keeping the focus on clarity rather than decoration. This spread is meant to support me, not pressure me. For the background, I was kind of undecided about it. I couldn't decide if I should color it all one solid color or just do a basic outlining of color around the outlook, or how would coloring the background affect the title letters. It was just too many things to consider, so whenever in doubt, I always go back to my tried and true, I gingham it. I feel that it's just an easy and effective way to fill up space while also still being really aesthetic to any spread you're trying to create. If you want to know how to create this pattern, just follow these two super easy steps. Do single strokes vertically and horizontally, and just skip every other line. It's literally that easy. You just want to make sure that you're using a marker or brush pen that gets darker the more layers of color you're applying on it. That way, when the stripes start to overlap, it starts creating that gingham pattern through the crisscross sections. So whenever you're in a rut about a space filler or not sure how to color a background, gingham can be your best friend. So here I'm just doing a basic green gingham pattern across the whole page, making sure I color around the bow tie because that will specifically be colored pink. The title letters I've decided will just be inked in black to keep it nice and simple. I'm the type to rarely ever overdo it with patterns. I like to keep it one main pattern and then work around it from there. Now, when doing these Dutch door cutouts, I miscounted the number of flaps that I needed, but it's totally not the end of the world. I can easily use this section as a brain dump. This is where everything can go: ideas, goals, worries, half-formed plans, things I don't want to forget but don't know where to put yet. With my yearly outlook all done, it's time to move to the last spread for the year, which is my 2026 theme spread. This will actually be my first year creating a theme spread, and I'm so excited to see how all my themes will make the spread look by the end of the year. For the spread, I wanted something that felt nostalgic and joyful, like looking back on memories that haven't happened yet. The idea is polaroids hanging from twinkly lights strung across the page. Each polaroid will represent a theme from each month. I love this concept because it doesn't demand perfection. It just helps celebrate another year of bullet journaling. As the year goes on, I can see the spread slowly filling up more and more. Because I expect to add a lot of vibrancy and color when I fill each Polaroid with my month's theme, I decided to take a step back from coloring that much on the spread this time. I didn't want to overdo it and just let the month's themes speak for themselves. I'm so excited for how it'll turn out by the end of the year. Also, I'd like to ask all my fellow bullet journalers out there a quick question. Do y'all plan out your monthly themes for the whole year all at once, or do you take it month by month? I'm just genuinely curious what the overall consensus is, so please answer in the comment section below if you like. Me personally, I plan it out month by month. I take choosing a theme to be a very personal decision for me. I'd like the month to reflect where I'm currently at in that exact moment in time. Like, for example, my Wicked theme back in November of last year. I probably decided on that the week before November started because all I remember feeling was just excitement over the movie's upcoming release. And that theme really let me explore the movie's world of color and characters, and it really got me jazzed up to see part 2. So, because of that, I really prefer selecting a theme when it comes time to it. In an ideal world, it would be so much easier and more efficient to have all your monthly themes laid out and ready to go, and I really commend those who do that. Maybe someday, but for now, at least for me, I'm enjoying taking it month by month. And here we have our flip through of my 2026 setup, ready to take on the new year. If you enjoy the making of these spreads, you can follow me for more at Dilly Doon Journals on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I wish you all a beautiful, happy new year, and I'll see you in the next one.